If you have like a squeaky click sound that comes from your door when you open and close it on your Tesla, it's most likely what's called your check strap. It is this part right here. Mine doesn't make the noise because I already fixed mine, but I'm gonna still show you how to do it, and I'll find a video of somebody who has the concern. So I bought this car with 103,000 miles on it. It's a 2019, and it had the creaky door, which I fixed, but we'll go over with you on how to do yourself. But this right here is your check strap. It's pretty easy to get to if you're kind of handy. And yeah, I'm gonna show you how to do it yourself for about 50 bucks versus paying Tesla. I think it was about 140 out of warranty. So here we go. So what you're gonna need are drill, socket extension, a T30, an 8mm socket, trim removal, 13mm short socket, and a 10mm deep socket, as well as a torque wrench. There are 3 T30 bolts that you're gonna have to take out. The first one is back behind this. You can just use a trim removal tool to pop this off. Boom, right there, super easy. The next one is, if you come under the door, it's right there. And the last one is right in front of the handle here. There's a piece of plastic that covers it. I can just go through. You can remove it with a trim removal tool. I just use my fingers. You grab it at the bottom and then pull it forward and it pops off. So there's the third one, and I'll take those out really fast and we'll go to the next step. You don't have to worry, the 3 bolts are all the exact same length, everything like that. So yeah. The next step is to remove this tweeter. All you're gonna do is just reach underneath the little edges here. You're gonna have to grab it and just pry it off with your fingers. It might take a little bit of budging, might feel a little uncomfortable, but it just pops straight up, so. And you don't wanna pull too hard, so I just popped mine out, and when you look at it here, there's one wire that's holding it into place. You're gonna undo that. That just pulls out. There's no clip or anything like that, but you wanna grab onto the plastic piece and separate it there. And then I usually just set the tweeter up on the dash because it's up and out of the way, and I know I'm not gonna step on it or anything. This next step feels kind of the scariest, but it's not difficult. You're gonna be starting at the bottom of the door panel, so right where the black part of the panel meets the door. And start at the bottom, you're gonna reach under, and you're gonna just grab it and pull it off. There's a bunch of clips. You're gonna feel like you're breaking it. You're not going to break it. The clips might fall off, but just pull straight out. It is hanging on the top here. There's a rail that goes along the top. So you're just pulling out the bottom part, but you're pulling it straight out. And then once you hear all those clips come undone, you'll feel it. Then you can lift it off the edge. Keep in mind, there is wiring behind there, so we're not going to pull it, like completely remove it. It will be hanging by the wires, and I'm gonna set a towel down so we can just set the door on that. Okay. I just started right up in this corner here. And yeah, I've had 2 of them pop out, so I'm just gonna keep going from here. Okay, hopefully you can see it from this angle. So I've got all the clips unpopped. You can tell because this just moves freely. Forgot to grab my towel. I'm actually going to use this instead of a towel because it was handier, but I just don't want the door edges to scratch. So now that I've gotten it to this point, you can see again, it's here. You can just lift up and then pull it down. Okay, so got a couple wires in there. But we're just trying to get this out of the way here. So it's fine to just sit like that. Next up is removing the speaker. Super easy. We're gonna undo this tab, this green tab there. Just push it in, pull it up. And then there's 4 8mm bolts around it. And then there's these little clips here, as you can see. And you can just push up one of them and pull out with your fingers. And then the rest of them kind of just pop out all by themselves. Again, these 4 speaker bolts are all the same length and threading, so you don't have to worry about which one goes where. Second speaker out, it's the main speaker, and then the tweeter. I already started to pull it off, but this right here comes off. My Model 3 has it, my Model Y doesn't. And you're gonna see, oh, they're hard to get to, but there's 2 10mm bolts back there and a 13mm bolt right there. So we're gonna get those undone. Keep in mind, something you're gonna find if you try to do this with the longer 13mm extension or 13mm socket, sorry, is that this space in here is pretty tight. So if you try to use just a regular 13, it's not gonna fit. So I'm gonna go get a shorter one because I forgot about that, and I'll be right back. So I just got it loose, and now I'm doing it by hand. It's not fun to lose the bolt, but if you do, not the end of the world. It just falls down into the bottom of the door. Kind of a pain in the butt to get out, but it's not like it's going to be lost in the abyss. That one fell down, but because I had my hand back there, I just got it. So the check strap is what holds the door in position. So you may be having the door try to close on you now at this point. Just lean the panel up and don't worry about it really, but I'm gonna go for the 13mm. Okay, so here's the 13mm, and that's what we're gonna go for. I just loosened it, and now I'm gonna do it by hand. Okay, so I got the 13mm done and the 10mm that are inside done. This is kind of a hard part, not because it's actually difficult, but because you've just gotta work its way out. So we're gonna be pulling the check strap through the hole that's right back here. We're gonna be pulling it into the door. So kind of have to finagle it a little bit, but it'll go. Oh, and don't forget to pull the boot off. Okay. And now I'm gonna show you how to put it back together. It's basically the reverse of everything, and I'll get you the Torx specifications for tightening everything down correctly. So here we go. There's 2 little holes in the door. That's what those bolts are gonna go through. You just kind of got to feel for it until you get it, and then you'll feel it slide right on in. So once you've got that part, the next thing I do is grab one of the 10mm nuts, just reach over to it, just hand tighten it here. I'm just gonna snug it up to keep that from moving on me. Grabbing the other 10mm, same thing. Finger tight right now. Same thing, 13mm. I'm just gonna, oops, there goes the door on me. Just gonna stick it in there. Make sure it's not cross-threaded. Finger tight. And I just realized the mistake I made. I forgot to put the little boot on it. If you're doing this on a Model Y, it probably doesn't have that boot. At least my 2021 Model Y does not. So it's just kind of open there. So I'm gonna undo the 13mm really fast. Glad I didn't tighten it down. Throw the boot back on and resume. All right, so for this 13 millimeter, it's 24 Newton meters or 17.7 foot-pounds. And the other one is 10 Newton meters, I believe it's 7.4 foot-pounds for these bolts inside here. We're gonna have to remove the boot again, but I just put it on to get it out of my way. There you go, about 17.5 foot-pounds. Remove the boot because it pops right off. And this one's going to 10 Newton meters or 7.4 foot-pounds. Now, before I put it all back together, just to verify, I set the door. Oops. Right on this. Boot back on there. Literally just getting this out of the way. So back and forth. Silent, the way it should be. Now my favorite part, reassembly. Super easy. The speaker, it's just gonna pop right back in there. You know which orientation it goes because it has got the plug at the top, and it will just hold in place with these little tab thingies again. And then you're gonna put the bolts back in. The torque specification for that is 2.9 foot-pounds. Last thing, put the tweeter back in. Plug it in real quick. Line it up on the door. Push it down. There you go. You now have a door that is quiet. Almost forgot to put the bolts back in, but there's the 3 bolts again. There's one right there, one underneath there, one back here. This little reflector, there we go. It says up. Sorry, I got shaky hands. But up, obviously, is what faces up, and it just pushes into place. And then this last piece of trim here, start at the top and push it back in. The skinny part goes at the top there. Just pops back into place. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully that was helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. And yeah, hope you have a great day. Take care.